Samadhi and Sushupti are not different. Samadhi means enlightenment, Sushupti is deep sleep. In this lecture, we are going to explore the brain waves, the states of consciousness, and the ultimate purpose of Yoga Nidra and how Yoga Nidra helps in that. So, yogis, psychologists, physiologists, they all agree that there are three fundamental and distinct levels of human consciousness. We can call them conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind, or the waking state, dreaming state, and the deep sleep state. So, when we are awake, the conscious mind is active. We are connected to the external world. When we are awake, when the conscious mind is active, basically for all the states of the mind, there is a pertaining electrical activity in the form of the brain waves happening in the mind. So when we are in the wakeful state, when we are awake, when the mind is active, connected to the connected to the conscious mind, we are connected to the world, our eyes are open, senses are open. The brain is heavily dominated by beta waves. Beta waves are very fast, they are very short waves, they are very fast, they are something like this. Sorry for my expression. So there is a lot of activity going on in the brain in the form of beta waves. Now, when we start to go into the sleep, so from the wakefulness we go into the dreaming state. Now we are sleeping. So when we are in the dreaming sleep, when we are in the dreaming phase of the sleep, the subconscious mind is predominant and the brain is filled with theta waves. The frequency of theta waves is 4 to 7. So theta waves are very slow. They are very slow and large waves. So they are something like this. So brain is very quiet. It's relaxed. It's in the subconscious mode, and there's not so much activity happening in the brain. And then we fall into the state of deep sleep. When we reach the deep sleep state, we basically become connected with the unconscious mind, and the brain becomes dominated with delta waves. Delta waves, the frequency of the delta waves can be from 0 to 3 cycles per second. They are the largest and the slowest waves brain can produce. And the frequency range of the same is 0 to 3. This means that there can be no wave at all. So, I will give a brief summary. So, when we are awake, when the conscious mind is active, we have beta waves dominance 13 to 20 cycles per second. When we are in the dreaming state, the mind, we are connected to the subconscious mind, and it is dominated by theta waves 4 to 7 cycles per second. When we are in the deepest sleep, we are connected to the unconscious. The unconscious mind is active, and the waves in the brain are called delta. They are 0 to 3 cycles per second. Now, according to yoga, the state of deep sleep is very much like the state of enlightenment. So, when a yogi reaches into the state of enlightenment, state of samadhi, A yogi's mind is also into the delta phase. So when somebody is into deepest possible meditation, they have delta waves dominance, 0 to 3 cycles per second. So basically, Patanjali, who is the founder of Ashtanga Yoga, 2005 years ago he was born, or even maybe more, he says that Samadhi and Sushupti are not different. Samadhi means enlightenment, Sushupti is deep sleep. He says Samadhi and deep sleep are exactly same states, but there is a fundamental difference. In Samadhi, we are absolutely awake and aware and conscious. In Sushupti, or the deep sleep, we are gone. We have no clue. So that is the basic difference. But as far as the brain activity is concerned, it is same state. It is just the difference is only in the awareness. Now there is another phase and another wave, brain wave, through which we pass when we are entering the sleep. So from the wakeful state to the dreaming state, when we are going from the conscious to the subconscious, there's a borderline which kind of divides the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That condition, that state, that borderline is called hypnagogic state. It is a state where we are slightly awake, we are slightly asleep. And this is the time, at this time, the brain has alpha waves predominance. So alpha waves are 7 to 12 cycles per second. So it's a very small transient period, a transition phase which occurs between the wakefulness and the dreaming state or the deep sleep. So when we are falling from the awakened state to the sleep, there's a small transition phase, the borderline state, also called hypnagogic state, where alpha waves are produced, which are 7 to 12 cycles per second. Now, it rarely lasts for 3 to 5 minutes, rarely. So, and the characteristic of the alpha waves is deep and progressive relaxation. And it's also connected to the release of muscular and postural tension. So what does it mean? It means that the real relaxation in the body, in the mind, happens when the alpha waves are predominant. Even in the deep sleep, even when we are in the deep sleep, or in the entire period of sleep, the real relaxation happens when alpha waves are present. Now, unfortunately, ordinarily, most of us, we don't last in the hypnagogic state or alpha wave dominance for more than 3 to 5 minutes. Even that is rare. Generally, we are awake and then suddenly we wake up in the morning and we have no clue. So we basically lose that phase. So here comes Yoga Nidra into play. So Yoga Nidra is the art of extending the duration of the hypnagogic state. So Yoga Nidra is a practice where we learn how can we stay in hypnagogic state, the state of mind, state of brain where there is dominance of alpha wave. How can we stay there for longer extended period of time, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, maybe 3 hours. So Yoga Nidra and even meditation, the whole purpose of meditation and Yoga Nidra is to extend that period of alpha waves dominance. So the longer we can extend the duration, more relaxed we can become, more rejuvenated we can become. Now, this may bring up another question. Is Yoga Nidra mainly for relaxation? No, relaxation is the byproduct. It's a side effect, it's a good effect. It's a side effect of Yoga Nidra. The deep relaxation is the side effect. The main purpose of Yoga Nidra is enlightenment. As we have already discussed many times, Yoga Nidra is a form of meditation. Purpose, the aim of all yoga, all meditation is to reach the state of samadhi. What is samadhi? Samadhi is the complete illumination of the mind, complete illumination of the entire consciousness. Entire consciousness is a combination of the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious mind. So basically, enlightenment happens when we can reach the deepest layers of a consciousness with awareness. As I already discussed in the beginning of this video, that according to Patanjali, the deep sleep, which is called Sushupti, there's no difference in deep sleep and Samadhi. They are same. Qualitatively, they are same, but the fundamental difference is of awareness. So the purpose of all types of meditation and Yoga Nidra is to reach the deepest layer of the mind with awareness. So in Yoga Nidra, we learn slowly, steadily, with consistency, with persistence, we learn how to move into the deeper layers of mind with trace of awareness. So, normally when we fall asleep and when we are in the deep sleep state, the state of deep sleep, there's only delta waves, 0 to 3 cycles per second. But once we have perfected the Yoga Nidra meditation, we can reach the deepest layers of consciousness, which is the unconscious mind. We can reach there with full awareness. So when we reach there with full awareness, the brain has two waves at the same time. It has delta waves and it has alpha waves. And this has also been proven with modern equipments, with modern science has done research on certain yogis, and they have found that when they are in the deepest state of meditation, the brain has symmetrical, harmonized alpha waves and delta waves at the same time, which means you are in a state of samadhi, you are in a state of deep sleep, at the same time you are fully awake. So this is the whole purpose of Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra's whole purpose is to go into the sleep with awareness, explore all the different states of consciousness, human consciousness with awareness, and that enables us, that brings a complete harmony between all the three states of consciousness. And when that happens, the mind becomes illuminated, we become enlightened, and that is the whole purpose of Yoga Nidra. There was an experiment done long back, 30-40 years ago, on an Indian yogi. His name was Swami Rama. He's no more. There was an experiment done on him in the United States, where most of the experiments like this happen. There was an experiment done, and all the EEG electrodes and all those things were connected to him, and he lay down, eyes closed, and he went into the deepest sleep state. And the people around him, they had certain conversations to make sure that when he wakes up, if he was awake, in the deepest sleep state. He should remember what was the conversation happening around him. So he lied down, he went into meditation, and the machines, the computers, they were showing that he was in the state of deep sleep. There were almost no waves in his brain. Actually, it was delta waves, 0 to 3 cycles. And then after the experiment was done, he woke up. He woke up and then he recalled and narrated everything he heard. The scientists and the doctors were talking when his brain was in the delta wave phase. So that was a scientific experiment done on him, which also proved that these things are true. So this is the main purpose of Yoga Nidra, to reach the deepest layer of our consciousness with complete awareness and become enlightened, and to achieve the goal, the highest goal of yoga, which is samadhi, the enlightenment. When that happens, you get self-realization. We all have heard about self-realization or the unity of individual consciousness with the supreme consciousness and all that. So that is the goal of yoga, and that can be achieved through Yoga Nidra.